Tamy Fagbenle from the Fever. The Golden State Valkyries are ready to make waves in the WNBA.
Process for the first time this year.
You know, it was an interesting experience. And you think about this team, and obviously I was not here, but you could see, and I've heard about how close this unit was. And so it's a difficult decision, but we all have to sacrifice for expansion in order to get Golden State up and running and 2 more teams next year. So it's what we have to do. It's not easy. You never like to see a player leave. Temy was obviously an incredible piece to the success last year. But again, it's the price we pay for growth. We're really excited for Golden State to come online. And certainly it was a decision we made, but a decision that wasn't in a vacuum, part of an overall strategy that hopefully everyone will see unfold throughout the offseason.
Welcome back, WNBA enthusiasts. We have an intriguing story for you today. The Indiana Fever startled everyone by leaving Tamy Fagbenle unprotected in the WNBA expansion draft a few days ago, and now the team management are finally speaking out.
This one a play, an and one chance for Temy and the Fever.
There is a twist to this story. The decision was made in spite of her exceptional performances this season and her undeniable playtime chemistry with Caitlyn Clark. What is actually happening with Bendle's future? Could the Fever gamble backfire? Or is there a larger scheme at work? Let's examine everything starting with Bendle's remarkable return to her restricted reagent status.
Last couple of weeks and how you've integrated here to the Indiana Fever.
I tell you what, it's been a whirlwind, but a lot of fun. This is an organization that I have long admired and have had a lot of interactions with throughout my career. So it's surreal to walk into work here every single day. Everyone has been so helpful, helping me find where to get a pen, where the lunchroom is, all the important things. But obviously, we've gotten right to work on the basketball side of things, preparing for 2025 as well. So it's been a fun startup.
General Manager Amber Cox of the Indiana Fever has come forth to defend the team's contentious choice to leave backup center Tamy Fagbenle unprotected in the WNBA expansion draft, a move that has angered supporters. Reeling.
I am so excited to be part of the Golden State Valkyries. It's such an honor to have been picked in the draft, and I'm looking forward to starting to build something special with my new team and the fans.
Fans were incensed when Bendle, a key player in the Fever's success the previous season, was quickly signed by the Golden State Valkyries, the league's newest team before.
The expansion we're seeing and the expansion draft taking place on Friday, which I'm sure for somebody in your position, it's a very unique thing, right? Because it's different than anything else probably that you do from an off-season perspective.
However, Fever general manager and Amber Cox was one of the only individuals with knowledge of the plot. In case you missed it, Cox just appeared on the Quote podcast with Christina Williams. Cox addressed the criticism by outlining the justification for the controversial team decision.
A few moments ago, you did bring up just the focus in terms of maximizing free agency in the draft next year. How does having a star like Caitlyn Clark on the roster impact the way that you approach that coming up? And also, you have an unrestricted free agent in Kelsey Mitchell, who has publicly expressed, she will explore all of her options. But from a general manager's perspective, how do you approach that going into the next season?
Well, look, we want Kelsey back. She had an incredible career here. And I've said many times that, she's been through some rough years with the Fever, in terms of a rebuild and being displaced from Gainbridge Fieldhouse. No one deserves this opportunity to be a part of this success more than Kelsey. I've been a fan of hers for many.
Speaking on, she clarified that the choice was a part of a larger plan that I hope everyone will witness as the offseason progresses. The expansion draft is challenging because it's hard to lose a player. 6 isn't very many when you consider protecting anybody on your roster. And this group clearly developed a strong team play in the second half of the season, so it wasn't an easy choice, but it was also a part of a larger plan that I hope everyone will witness as the offseason continues. Tamy Fagbenle is a player that no one would want to see depart because she was clearly an amazing addition to the squad at Success last year. She continued, adding that it was difficult to let go of the unprotected players, but that we all had to make sacrifices for expansion. As a member of the Minnesota LYX, Tamy Bennett won the WNBA championship in 2017. She finished her season with Indiana, scoring 6.4 points per game, 0.7 blocks, 0.5 steals, 0.9 assists, and 5.7 rebounds. She participated in 22 tournaments due to the fever before missing a significant number of games due to an injury.
Tamy, take me through. It seemed like you had energy for days all week. Three games in 5 days. How do you do it? And what has sort of allowed you to have so much to give in your return here to the W?
Literally, the first thing that just came to mind was God. And I'm not even a religious person, but there's I'm giving so much that I don't even know where it's coming from. And my first instinct was just thank you, God, thank you, higher power, thank you, universe, whatever, for giving me that energy to just continue and give to my team every day. We need so much, we're learning, and I know that my presence here is needed as a veteran player with experience. Oh, it's a lot of work, but my energy is coming from a higher power, so I'm thankful for that.
Despite the fact that it would never be an easy decision for the Fever, they chose to start her in the Indiana Final 2024 playoff game after she broke into the rotation late in the season. She finished the previous season with the third best rebounding percentage and the sixth most minutes on average, making her one of 3 rotation players with a positive net rating.
It's been a busy offseason already for the franchise, and I know a whole lot more is coming up. Your addition, clearly a major part of.
Cox also disclosed additional noteworthy details of the team's aggressive summer preparations to strengthen Clark's core. She stated that the team's main priority is to re-sign guard Kelsey Mitchell, and that the front office is searching for free agents nationwide.
Long. In fact, Fagbenle hit 20 of her first 22 free throws this year, and has now missed.
The bag's disappearance before we move on, I would like to ask you a tiny favor. If you enjoy our WNBA content, please take a moment to like this video. Bentley gave the WNBA offseason an unexpected twist, but based on Cox's comments, it might not be the only significant change the Fever plan to make. Now, let's move on to Caitlyn Clark, the Indiana superstar who has been making headlines, and subscribe to the channel.
The Caitlyn Clark effect, which is really an umbrella term for everything that happened in sports because it was so much more far-reaching, right? So
nothing makes people happier than discussing whether or not Caitlyn Clark is loved by those who are speaking about her.
When you literally go on Twitter and you search Rookie of the Year, Angel Reese, it is like everybody talking about why she's not a good basketball player. Yes, okay, a lot of her rebounds are her own rebounds, but she's having a historic season just like Caitlyn Clark is, and I think that she deserves a lot more credit than what she's getting.
Can we stop? See, so that right there is part of the problem. Let's stop comparing her to Caitlyn Clark. Like, let's not.
I'm saying people are doing that. No, I said she's having a historic season just like Caitlyn Clark.
Yeah, but
Caitlyn Clark is setting assist records. She's setting rebound rookie records.
They're very different things, and so I think that's where a lot of the hate comes in. If I can be honest, if we really want to resolve Angel receiving as much vitriol as she does, we have to separate the two because right now they are conjoined. But Angel's game is very, very different than Caitlyn's. If we're able to stop tying them together, I think way more people will appreciate the things that Angel does well as opposed to defending the greatness that is Caitlyn Clark and what she does well.
Or resent her after Tamy Fagbenle was chosen by the Golden State Valkyries in the expansion draft. The Indiana Fever star is the center of attention as she departs the team.
Caitlyn, and your Monthish's teammates, what stood out to you about Temy and what she brings to your team and how you guys kind of fit together?
Temy's leadership is really good. Like, she's just somebody that's so vocal, and she comes in and gives 110% every single minute that she's on the floor, but also, she runs the floor as good as anybody. You saw it there in the fourth quarter, the way she ran the floor, kind of slipped behind the defense and was able to finish a big basket for us. So, Temy's somebody that you never have to question how she's going to show up and work. She plays great defense. She's long. She's athletic. But I don't know. She's been somebody that's been honestly really motivational for me at coming into this league. She's always had my back and been there to pick me up and, help me kind of learn too. So I'm just really proud of her. And, she did some really good stuff for us, and she will continue to. I think she had a double-double tonight at 11 and 10. It's pretty good off the bench.
Caitlyn Clark was one of the main figures addressing Tamy Fagbenle's departure shortly after she was selected by the Valkyries, and Fagbenle took to Instagram to bid farewell after being accused of ejecting an Indiana Fever player who had already found a new home.
Thomas with the offensive rebound. Here's Bonner on the drive, and Fagbenle just ripped it away, and jump ball is the call.
To my teammates, we had a season of growth and revelations. I'm very proud of you all for sticking with it. Thank you for supporting me and helping us to keep improving. I appreciate the constant enthusiasm that Indy fans provide. Clark replied, "Love, yay. TM, I'm going to miss you." While Caitlyn Clark is losing a buddy in the BTL, she is also witnessing another make a move in the WNBA as Kate Martin was selected by the Valkyries, meaning she would miss one of the team's most effective substitutes.
Keep your eye on number 22. Martin looking. Here's Clark. She fired!
Right now, the Indiana squad is concentrating on assembling the finest roster possible around Caitlyn, who is an incredible talent that any club would be fortunate to have. As her team gets ready for possible international debut, Clark's star power is not only enhancing the WNBA, but also changing the basketball landscape. The Fever represents a new era of women's basketball that is attracting interest from all over the world.
Do you think that there is something at play here with all these WNBA players purposely wanting to attack her?
I don't know if the play on the court is racial. I really don't think so. I think she's famous, brought what none of them ever could. It's the new kid, the popular kid coming in. We're going to beat her up and we're going to take shots wherever we can. So I really think it was just a bully syndrome that the rich, popular kid coming into play, and these girls were going to show her who's boss.
If it has had an impact on the NBA, her impact has unquestionably contributed to the WNBA's long overdue recognition, positioning the league for international expansion. Caitlyn Clark is poised to take the lead and demonstrate that basketball's future isn't limited to men's basketball.
To Juana Bonner, the defensive assignment on Caitlyn Clark. These teams played 4 times in the regular season, as you see Mitchell.
Finds Boston. Clark gets hit in the face by Karen.
It would be shocking if the Fever did make it that far, and how quickly they did could largely depend on what the team does this offseason. It took some time for Clark to get used to the league and for her teammates to get used to her style. Last season, the Connecticut Sun eliminated the Fever from the playoffs in the first round, with Clark leading the way alongside fellow No. 1 pick Alea Boston.
She doesn't get tired. You see the way I run? I just sprint all the time.
All the time.
Sprint. I sprint everywhere. I sprint in my apartment. I just sprint. I love sprinting.
However, after they did, the Fever quickly became an elite offense, and all of those players were ranked first in the league during that time, with the exception of Pace, who was second. However, they were equally awful on defense, and one important factor was that they turned the ball over like crazy, giving other teams an opportunity to get easy BS on the break to have a chance to fight for the championship after making it to the playoffs for the first time since 2016. Clark has stated that she wants the team to bring in new players. Many eyes were on the Indiana Fever, wondering which players they would protect in order to build on a reasonably successful season for the league's new team. The Feld Fever supporters were taken aback when the Golden State Valkyries selected Fagbenle for their squad for their first season the following year, as they had the option to select 11 players from 11 different teams with their 5th pick. Responding to the WNBA Hall of Farmer news on ESPN, Rebecca Lobo revealed the most shocking thing to me. Tamy Fagbenle was selected not because she would be a great fit in Golden State, but I am just shocked that the Indiana Fever did not decide to protect her. In fact, the 32-year-old was the only player on the team to win a WNBA championship, and she did so in 2017 with the Minnesota Lynx. Despite the fact that her playing for the Fever was limited last season due to 3 separate injuries, the fact that the Fever chose not to protect her surprised many fans, and Cox's remarks did little to calm irate fans who witnessed the devastating blow that Ben Lee's loss caused a fan reaction on X. I'm sure Kelly and Amber are aware of what they're doing by reworking another person's writing. Finally, if they don't feel comfortable signing someone like Sata Sabali, they may regret it. Tamy and Kate are going to make it shine. Tamy is renowned for her defensive skill and consistency. Fagbenle was considered a crucial component in the Fever's puzzle as they seek to regain its WNBA glory.
But where do you view this roster right now?
I mean, that getting into the playoffs was such a great step. I think experiencing that for our young team is so important because you understand how the intensity level goes up another several notches, right? So that is a really important step. So obviously we want to take the next step. So I think as we're looking to free agency.
Additionally, the Fever will have a crucial offseason due to the arrival of two-time All-Star Kelsey Mitchell is in jeopardy. For a team already reeling from Fagbenle's departure, losing Mitchell, who averaged 19.2 points per game last season with rising star Caitlyn Clark, would be a devastating setback. Free agency will be difficult for the Fever, and fans want to know how the Fever plans to navigate the WNBA free agency each period.
Do something special for the long term. And obviously, as we get into free agency, the number one priority for us is re-signing Kelsey Mitchell.
However, Cox, as fans eagerly anticipate the next chapter in the team's history, the Fever summer moves will be highly evaluated since they understand the fans' passion and are dedicated to creating a roster that can compete at the top level. For the time being, however, Cox's appeal to Q Trust is difficult to sell to a fan base. Feeling hungry as for the answers and results, over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing, which is free but has a significant impact on us. Have you clicked the subscribe button? Thank you so much. Let's get back to the video. Although the Fever have their core in place, there are still a number of roster areas they need to improve, starting with defense. Naturally, being able to shoot, run the court, and transition will also be crucial in the Fever, as focus was the team's main shortcoming this season. Front of the high-pace attacking system, depending on what transpires with Smith and Fagbenle, court depth might be required. If Wheeler doesn't return, they might also require a new backup point guard.
Success. Yes, we'll continue to look at the roster, see what's available to us as we get into free agency, and to continue to try to, build upon last year's success.
Caitlyn specifically has such a unique skill set. She loves to run, just incredible vision.
There is no doubt that the Indiana Fever blossomed into becoming the most popular basketball team in the NBA during the 2024 regular season, as evidenced by the attendance records they set at home and away games, ticket prices, merchandise sales, and pretty much any other metric that can be used to evaluate a team claim. In a recent article, Tom Friend of the Sports Business Journal stated that the WNBA is already attempting to capitalize on Clark and the Fever's popularity toward a global audience. This is another significant break for Indiana.
Whether you're watching and don't like that, you have to admit to yourself that that's true. Now there's I don't know if it's necessarily a report per se, I guess a report, that backs up that the WNBA realizes that as well.
According to reports, the WNBA is aware of Clark's fame and plans to eventually book a Fever game abroad in order to take advantage of her Q rating.
Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
Look at Wheeler staring to the right side, knows who's there, drop pass behind, could be the deepest shot we've seen Caitlyn Clark.
The Indiana Fever practically won the lottery when they selected Caitlyn Clark with the first overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft.
With the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlyn.
As Clark adjusts to being a professional player, she will only get better, and the Fever will keep growing. Clark is currently the brightest young star in women's basketball and made the Fever one of the most watched teams in the WNBA straight away.
A sold-out crowd in Evanston tonight for the Northwestern women's basketball game against the Iowa Hawkeyes. All the buzz surrounding a player on that visiting team. Iowa's Caitlyn Clark has become a national phenom, and some fans say they went the extra mile just to watch her play here. ABC 7's Kate Kogirin spoke with excited ticket holders at Welsh Ryan Arena.
The fan fever was high and in full supply at Welsh Ryan Arena.
This is like the best thing ever.
But the focus wasn't on the home team. Northwestern hosting Wednesday night's women's basketball game against Iowa. But people who lined up for hours say they showed up for the Caitlyn Clark show.
She plays for Iowa. My mom went to Iowa, and I'm going to go to Iowa too.
Brianna Fabia, just one of many young fans of the Iowa basketball star. What are you most excited to see?
Her playing. She's a good three-point shooter. I love watching her score and just everything about.
With their two finest players preparing for competition, the Indiana Fever have the rare chance to establish a true powerhouse. The team has already taken some important steps.
The rest of the world, the light switch has come on, and everyone now understands what we all know and love about the WNBA, how tremendous these players are on the court, but also what great people they are off the court. And I say it all the time, 1 through 12, we've got incredible stories to tell. And I think this spotlight gives us the opportunity to create even more of a platform for every single one of our players.
When Kelly Croft, the creator of the Fever's previous Chanel partnership team, which was centered around Tama Catchings, joined Howard Magdal on the Locked On Women's Basketball podcast, she disclosed some of her ambitious plans for the team. While most fans are aware of what the Fever need in terms of defense, three-point shooting, and Clark and Boston players with more experience, obtaining those things is a little more difficult.
All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you all for showing up this morning. To officially welcome back Kelly Kroskoff as President of Basketball Business Operations for the Indiana Fever. We'll get started with an opening statement from Kelly, then move to questions in the room and on Zoom. As always, please raise your hand, and Mina will get a mic around to you. And please raise your hand on Zoom, and we will get to everybody as quickly as we can. Kelly, congratulations. Welcome back. Would you please tip us off this morning?
Thanks. Good to be here. Good to see some familiar faces.
Since many young teams prefer to take things slowly and give players plenty of time to develop, Kelly made it known that the fact is that the Fever window of opportunity is now, meaning that in the next 3 or 4 years they will be aggressive and really try to put the right players around the team. Moving from college or the EuroLeague to the WNBA is not always an easy transition. However, the Fever have 2 generational players, and when you have that kind of talent, you cannot afford to waste time. In addition, the fact that both Clark and Boston are still under rookie contracts means the Fever will have more financial flexibility if they build around them now rather than when they are more expensive to acquire. Many rookies in the WNBA struggle for a while with the physicality, speed, and skill of the veteran players, and few teams are prepared to make big all-in moves when their star players are just preparing to enter their 2nd and 3rd seasons as pros.
Some peaks and valleys. So I really feel like we're poised and we're set up for a great, successful next era of Fever basketball.
Krosov went into further detail later in the podcast about what being aggressive could mean for the Fever this offseason. Since Kelsey Mitchell is a restricted free agent and could attract a lot of interest from other teams, many fans have been worried about her future. But Stephanie White has already mentioned Mitchell as one of the team's big 3, and Kuf provided another positive update for all Mitchell fans among the Fever's fan base. She is our top priority. Regarding Mitchell's future with the squad, Krosskop responded, "Yes, we do have the opportunity to score her, and it would be sort of irresponsible of me if we didn't use that opportunity."
To take that next step, and how does free agency enter into the equation?
Yeah, I mean, it's clear that we have 2 foundational players, probably 3. You get 2 rookies of the year in a row with a front court player in Aaliyah Boston, Caitlyn Clark, and then Kelsey Mitchell. I mean, I think that the veteran leadership that Kelsey was able to provide, we need to help her. We need to add to that. I spent a lot of years just trying to add experienced players around Tamy Catchings because it was really, veterans that have been in the foxhole and have been together. Those are ways that elements of success. It's not a magic bullet. There's not a quick fix, but I do think this team needs a little bit more experience, probably some more size.
It appears that Mitchell's future with the Fever is already much set, and she may soon be joined by some other distinguished veterans. Additionally, Kossoff stated that she hopes to try to recruit and acquire some players with greater experience.
Last year. So we want to reunite Caitlyn and Kelsey and Kelsey, when I think about her and her time in Indiana and, you know, a lot of trials and tribulations throughout her career. So for me and for us, I'm most excited for her to be in this moment and experience so much.
Taking to X, the Golden State Valkyries announced that they had selected Tamy Fagbenle in the draft along with 10 other players. They were thrilled to add Caitlyn Clark's frontcourt comrade to the talented group being put together for their first season in 2025. In order to assist Golden State in assembling their roster in advance of the 2025 WNBA season, the expansion draft was conducted. The Valkyries, led by Joe Lobb, are the 13th team in the league.
Son, Veronica Burton. From the Dallas Wings, Carla Lade.
From the Indiana Fever, Tamy Fagbenle.
Ilana Rurt, Kate, Martin Maria, and Veronica Burton are on the remaining roster. Carla arrived late. Talbot, Stephanie Cecilia Zanzlani. Thornton, Kayla Julie Van Loo, and Monique Billings, what are your thoughts on Cox's plans for the Fever? Which free agent do you hope to see wearing an Indiana jersey next season? When do you believe Caitlyn Clark will make her WNBA debut? Please share your thoughts in the comments below, and remember to like this video. Additionally, please subscribe to our channel. Click the link that appears on your screen to stop. I'll see you in the upcoming video.
Hello everyone, it's Maria Conde here. Just wanted to say that I'm extremely happy to be part of the Golden State Valkyries, and I can't wait to see this team start writing its own history.
Hey, it's Veronica Burton here. Just want to say I'm super excited to be joining the Golden State Valkyries and be a part of their first season in the W. It's just an amazing opportunity and an honor to get drafted. We have a great group and I can't wait to get to work.
I am so excited to be part of the Golden State Valkyries. It's such an honor to have been picked in the draft, and I'm looking forward to starting to build something special with my new team and the fans.
The league is all about opportunity, and you just need one shot, right? And I am very thankful for the Aces and everything I got to learn there, but I'm really excited for this new beginning and to build something from the ground up here with the Valkyries.
What is good, Valkyrie fans? It's Mo Billings. I am so excited to be a part of this new franchise. It's been a whirlwind these last couple of days, but I'm ready to get to work, and I'll see y'all in the Bay.
Hello, Valkyries fans. It's Julie here. I just want to tell you guys I'm super excited to come to the Bay Area. It was very special to hear my name in the expansion draft, and I just want to tell you I'm going to give everything I have for this organization. I'm going to work super hard to make all our dreams come true. And yeah, I'm just super happy, and yeah, I see you soon.